It's Jordan. I wanted to touch base today about a topic that people were asking me about in the comment sections, and in some of my previous videos, I was going back and actually reading the comments, and a few people have been asking about an update on how it is living in Atlanta, if I'm, going to move, or what's my plans for the future, basically. Get some of that light out of y'all face. Yeah, and ultimately, yeah, I'm leaving Atlanta. For a multitude of reasons, but one being is though, like, my daughter's getting older, she needs me around physically a lot more, and it costs me so much to move. It costs me so much to get back and forth home. She's involved in so much, and I definitely need to be around, just for her, even for her, not only for her glow up, but also, just to be a part of her extracurricular activities, which is important to see, your parents there. So that's one of the main reasons why I'm moving back. I'm not really moving all the way back to the Philadelphia area. I'm from Chester. I'm from PA. I'm not moving all the way back up there, but I'm looking at the DMV area. I'm looking at Maryland, DC, and Virginia. I'm actually going to go visit those three states in this summer sometime. I'm looking to do it next month, July and August, and just get a feel for the area and see would it be a good fit financially for me, and would it be a good fit for me to network and move the way I need to move. Now let's go back to the beginning. I moved down here because if you've never been to Atlanta, especially recently, if you've never been to Atlanta, you get down here and everybody's moving. It's a lot of moving parts down here. Is that a gray hair? It's a lot of moving parts down here. Everybody's moving. Everybody looks like they're doing something here. And that's attractive if you come from an area where you don't see that. You do see it, but it's like back home it's more like hustling. Like everybody's trying to out hustle everybody back home. You know what I mean? Like it's no real camaraderie there. It's no real reaching back and seeing the potential in people and kind of putting them on back home. And you get it, and they do have that environment back home, but it's like it's all politically infused and stuff like that back home. Like you got to know somebody, all this extra stuff back home. When I got down here, it was like, as long as you have the drive and ambition, it felt like you can just get involved with whoever. And that's the naive part of me and my confidence clashing, actually, because that's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. If you plan on moving here to Atlanta, I would say before you get here, build like a nice, a small, efficient network of people. I can't stress that enough. It looks like I got a black eye. These bags under my eyes. But build like a small, efficient group of people that are about what you're about. Here in Atlanta, the nightlife is booming. They doing construction all over the place. That's another reason why I'm moving too, is because they don't have an efficient public transportation system here, which adds to the traffic problem that they have here. They have a serious traffic problem here, and they don't have the public transportation system here to combat that. Like most people will be looking at the traffic like back home and be like, oh, I could just catch the train downtown or whatever. I can, even on the outskirts, you have back home, we have SEPTA. Down here they have MARTA. But SEPTA go everywhere. I seen bus stops in the middle of alleyways back home, like SEPTA goes everywhere, and if you ain't got SEPTA, you got, the trolleys and trains and, buses, whatever. You have ways to get around. You really don't need need a car like how you need a car here. You need a car here. MARTA doesn't go everywhere. MARTA is privately owned, and all the rich people in the richer areas, the Dunwoody's and Sandy Springs and all those areas up there, Alpharettas. These are all cities that's within the metro Atlanta area that I'm mentioning. they don't want MARTA coming up there. From what I've been told, they don't want MARTA. They feel like if MARTA is able to come through their neighborhoods, then they think the crime rate's going to rise in that neighborhood, which I don't know if that's statistically true, but they think that will happen because more people have more access to areas that they normally wouldn't have access to. So I think they're thinking that the crime rate might rise in those areas. And if that's statistically true, then, you know, I can see why they would feel that way. But if they just being spiteful, they just don't want people to, you know, to have access to better jobs and stuff like that, I think that that's a effed up situation for people. You know, you don't have those issues back home. And if you coming down here with just hope, dreams, and aspirations like I did, you're going to be in for a rude awakening when you get here. Atlanta is not the person for that. It's not the place for that, I'd say. It's not. Atlanta, get your small group of people that you can network with. I say do your homework on the areas that you want to live in, the areas that you can afford or whatever, especially if you plan on like moving into like the south of Atlanta. If you plan on moving into those areas, you're dealing with a certain group of people in those areas, and just be careful with how you go about moving around, the way you move around. I lived in Southwest Atlanta. Since I've been living here, I lived in 3 or 4 places. I lived in Southwest Atlanta for some time. I lived in Riverdale for some time. I lived in Jonesboro for some time, and now I live in Forest Park. So yeah, four places that I've been living here since I've been living here, and I've been here for 4 years. And I haven't had any issues, God willing, and God has blessed me. And I haven't had any issues, but I see it all the time on the news, and I see it all the time, you know, when you're out and about. You hear the chatter of like, yeah, don't live in that area because it's rough in that area, or don't, you know, make sure you watching your back in this area because things can go down here. And God hasn't been putting me in positions where those things have been happening to me. And I'm blessed, and I'm highly thankful for that, because coming from where I've come from, you know, it's dangerous. Chester, one of the most dangerous cities in Pennsylvania. So, and one of the most dangerous cities in the whole country, actually. They always rank in like the top 10 in the whole country because it's so small. So many deaths per capita there that it ranks them pretty high. And you move down here and you don't really know anybody. I got a couple cousins, like I said in previous videos. I got a couple cousins that live down here, but they're working women, and they live within a working family where like I don't really get a whole lot of time to spend with them. And then, you know, I got my boy Ace, I always talk about in some of my videos on here. And, you know, we went to high school with each other, but he has a family to take care of and stuff like that. So like, and I'm a sociable person when it's necessary, but I was really focused on what I moved down here for, if you get what I'm saying. So when you become that focused and become that locked in on what it is that you're trying to accomplish, you don't really have time for like sociable things like that. And I get invited to stuff like, I go with my cousins, she invite me to cookouts all the time. She have dinners. If I call her up right now, she'll be like, all right, well, what you want to eat? You can just come on over here. My family's that type of family. They're loving like that. So it don't even, you know, it's not a thing. I don't have to actually make that a part of my schedule. It's more so like it's a spur of the moment thing with them. You know, I could just call her up and she probably today on some random Sunday like today, and she'll be with whatever. And my boy Ace, he invites me to stuff over his house too. You know, he be having game nights and stuff like that. But as far as like the nightlife and all of that, I kind of got that out of my system a long time ago. I don't be going to no clubs, strip clubs and all that stuff. People be calling me. You'll notice that too. When you get down here, especially if you're not from here, you'll get a lot of people hitting you up, basically wanting you to be their tour guide. You know, they want you to know where the hottest clubs is at, where the hottest strip clubs is at, where the best food spots is at. And I know I'm pretty familiar with all the food spots down here, but as far as like strip clubs and clubs, I don't. I'm not. I'm all of that stuff is out of my system. I'm really looking to progress at this point and get to the next level, be it financially, emotionally, spiritually, and all of that. You know, I want to get to that next plateau. And Yeah, so I'm looking to move. I'm looking to move to the DC area. I know DC has like a booming technology and a booming the booming progressive black population there. I'm looking to get heavily involved in that. I'm probably gonna get back into like music management or you know, something that's involving music at some point too, because that's just a part of my life and I love music that much. I also I also want to just get around some like-minded people, get around some creatives. That's the only time I feel like I'm at peace, is when I'm with people that's constantly creating. If I'm around people that's constantly about, you know, doing something different, I feel like that's when my wheels are turning at, you know, at a high level, and I can be a part of a team, or have people be a part of my team. So I'm looking to do that. I didn't really get a chance to really do that here in Georgia, and because I didn't stick to it, you kind of get in a rat race of just making money to survive here, making money to, you know, and my life ain't wrapped around making as much money as possible. It's about being, it's living a happy and prosperous and fruitful life. So, granted, I would love to be wealthy one day and be able to, you know, help people in a way that, you know, you could kind of be a venture capitalist for somebody's project. Somebody want to get a chain of whatever franchises up off the ground. You could kind of be the person to fund that type of stuff. Like, I wanted to be more of an unconventional venture capitalist. So yeah, if I ever get to the point of wealth, if God ever blesses me with wealth, that'd be something that I'll look into. I know plenty of people with crazy ideas and stuff like that all they need is the funding behind it. And if they can't find the funding, they kind of just let their dream just kind of like fade or whatever. And like you said, you get back into that rat race of just working just to survive, working just to get money, working just to save, working just to whatever, go on, you know, your vacation once every 2 or 3 years. And you look back and you like, dang, it's already like, I looked up and it was like, I got down here in 2014. It's 2018 now. I looked up and it was like, dang, I've been here for 4 years. And I probably accomplished maybe 25% of what I came down here for. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. So I'm going to, when this move happens, I plan on just rearranging everything, how I went about being here, you know, rearranging, and being as I'm gonna be closer to home, I have the motivation that I need. That's another thing. Like, every time I went home, it was like a recharge for me. It was great to see my family, great to see my sisters, great to see my daughter, you know, great to see some friends I graduated with. It was a recharge for me. And I get back down here and I'm like reinvigorated to just do stuff. I'm recharged now. Now I know what my purpose is. So I'm like, I'm 100% going after whatever it is that I'm going after. If I move closer to home, I would only, you know, if I'm in DC, I'm only two and a half hours away. I got friends that live in the DC area, so it's not like I'm just moving up there blindly. And I'm familiar with the DC area because I just did a lot of like running around in that area when I was home. Like, I love DC. I love the atmosphere. I love the culture. I love the atmosphere and culture here in Atlanta. Atlanta's fast paced. It's a fast paced city. All of that country, because it's a lot of people that's here that's not from here. That's one thing. So they kind of speeding up the pace for Atlanta. They kind of like putting Atlanta on a mouse wheel, because I guess Atlanta needed it, and with all of the building and stuff like that they're doing, Atlanta needs fast paced minds to kind of keep it running like a well-oiled machine here. So Atlanta fast paced. You go downtown and it almost looked like, I'm not gonna say New York City. Maybe like a smaller, less conventional version of New York City. I would say that. A way smaller. I would say it looked like kind of like almost like downtown Philly, almost like downtown Philly. Philly still got that hustle that you get there and you land in Philly and you just stand in the middle of the street and you could just see people just moving. Everybody just like trying to get at something, whether it be money, whatever. They trying to build something. Everybody's trying to get at. Just stand still and just look around. You'll see people just moving. downtown Philly is definitely comparable to how Atlanta is building itself up, the way it's building itself up. Now that they have their new stadium, and they keep building all these condos and stuff around there, and I just keep thinking to myself, like, man, traffic is going to be hell down here. It's already hell down here, but traffic is going to be like in its worst condition because they don't have the public transportation system in place. They might have to build. I was thinking to myself, they might just build. It would be dope if they build sky rails. I think that they should have skyways as far as like, I believe Seattle and or Portland. I think it's Portland that has it. They might have to build like a monorail that's like in the air, something like that, because there's no way that they're gonna be able to dig up underground and make tunnels and and stock all of this production to make a subway. Like, it's too late. They have to do something else. But I don't want to be around for when they have to figure that part out. But they keep on building. Like, you go downtown and they building condos all over the place. They redoing the Phillips Arena. They just built the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. They just got another Atlanta Braves Stadium. The Atlanta Braves Stadium is actually not even downtown. It's like up in Marietta area. And it's just, I guess they did that on purpose to kind of like alleviate some of the traffic, but traffic is still horrendous down here because they don't have the public transportation system. And so yeah, I just wanted to touch base on that. This video is a little longer than what I expected. I actually have a shift. I do brand ambassador work for this company called Urban Enterprises. If you looking to do if you're looking to become a brand ambassador, they're a pretty solid company. The pay is pretty good, and you only have to sign up for shifts that you actually want to do. Y'all look it up yourselves. It's Urban Enterprises, and they have all types of brand ambassador work. They work with like the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. They work with Lyft, Georgia Tech, the Georgia Swarm. They do all types of stuff, and you could just kind of jump in and out however you feel. Like, nothing is mandatory for you to do until you commit to a particular job, and then it's mandatory for you to go. But they send you jobs in an email, and you just kind of go about whatever. You sign up for whatever it is that you feel like you're able to do. Some of the jobs is trash or whatever. Like, some of them is stuff that you probably wouldn't do 9 to 5 all week long. But most of the jobs that they have is just is very, very easy work. You ain't really doing too much. The other day I signed up for a gig where I was delivering boxes to like it was this festival that not a festival, an event that happens down here once a year, and they wanted to surprise their attendees with like breakfast boxes. So they hired Urban Enterprises to come in and basically get these boxes to these people's doorsteps. They like breakfast boxes or whatever, and it was cool. I actually got done. I actually had one left over. They let us keep one of them, and they come with like strawberries, peaches. It was breakfast, yogurt, granola, stuff like that, and a bunch of pamphlets to show you how to cook breakfast better or whatever, cook healthier breakfasts. And it was cool. I think I got paid like $15 an hour or something like that, plus mileage, and or something like that, something around those numbers. And like I said, it was cool. And I love, I got done the job. I think I worked for like 5 hours, and that was that. So if y'all looking for extra money, join that and Brand Ambassadors of Atlanta. They have a Facebook page where they always looking for like people to come and, and work for, for a few hours or whatever. The pay is usually good, $20, $25. You'll see $30 an hour jobs up on there where you could just be working for whatever, 8 hours, passing out samples or, signing people up at a registration table, stuff like that. So yeah, this video is a little longer than what I expected, but yeah, that's my update. I'm looking to move, and I'm looking to move around October. And yeah, get in the comment section or whatever. If y'all have any more questions, I'll try to answer anything that that you guys have. Also, check out my other videos about Postmates. I'm gonna start uploading videos about DoorDash soon. I just signed up for Caviar too, but Caviar is really for when I get up to DC. Shout out to Gig Stacker, the dude. Y'all want to check him out. It's a guy out here named Gig Stacker, and also Toya ATL. Y'all might want to check out her page as well. She has a bunch of videos of different ride shares and food share companies, delivery service companies that she's worked for. She's pretty much done everything. But go check out their pages or whatever. Gig Stacker is very, very informative. His videos are a lot more interactive and more entertaining than my videos, for sure. My videos is just, yo, I'm gonna talk to y'all and y'all gonna either like or hate what I'm talking about, and y'all can get in the comment sections and we can debate. That's what my videos are. Like, everybody else kind of they put work into their videos. I don't. So shout out to them. Go check out their pages or whatever if y'all have more information, if y'all needed more information on that stuff. And share the video, whatever. I'm down for whatever. No, that's not a passion mark. I know somebody else in the video asked me, somebody in the comment section said, you too old to be having passion marks. I was cracking up. That's actually my birthmark. It's going to be there the next 33 years that I'm here on this planet and beyond, if God decides to keep me here long. Anyway, y'all hit me up, get in the comment section. Peace and blessings to y'all. Peace.